Are we on?
Yeah.
The podcast is on.
Well, we do. I mean, we'll just start it whenever we want to start it.
All right, or so we can edit the thing.
This is the
good.
first official episode of the new podcast.
Yeah.
How do we? Because there's different ways that people start podcasts. There's the one that I don't think we should do, which is where, and no harm to lots of my friends, where they do the whole like, hello and welcome to the this
Right.
episode 1. Don't forget the blah blah blah. I think we just start, which is the opposite of what I'm doing right now. We just
Absolutely.
into the nonsense.
Into the nonsense, 100%. Well, so because this was the first one, I really wanted to come in all guns blazing, like mentally. So like I've meditated twice today.
Twice?
Yes. Yeah. Just so that I'm gonna be like I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
That's such a toxic man
Yeah.
way to do meditate. You meditating? I'm doing it more.
Yeah.
So
That's right. Well, I kind of want to be a mental fort, like a Charles Xavier, like level, and just so you can't get one over on me, and like that, I'll just be too sharp. But then, so
why do you think I'm going to get one over on you?
because I have trust issues, you know. So I'm like, don't be trying to. So I'm going to be. He won't be able to hurt me. Well, so no. The thing is, right? I've been firing on all cylinders mentally recently. I've started seeing a therapist called Drew.
Drew?
Yeah, he's
short
an-
for Andrew.
I haven't established that with him, but probably next session. That's the thing for the next session. But he's an old English fella,
Okay.
and he does be telling me to he's like, tell me to fuck off, because he's saying I'm not confrontational. So I'm like, fuck off. It's kind of like
What the fuck therapist are you going to?
Drew. He used to be on heroin. But we've actually changed the name. It's Dan. He used to be on heroin. No, seriously, no. But he was on the fucking H and everything. And he's telling me all about that. He does most of the talking, to be honest. He does
Are
a
you
lot of it.
sure this is a therapist?
Absolutely, lad. Yeah.
It feels like you're a dominatrix.
Yeah.
Where you're like, you go in for therapy and the therapy's like, spit on me.
Yeah. Do you know what, actually? Now that you said it,
I was wearing leather. It's all leather.
Well, see, it's on Zoom, so I'd only be spitting on my own laptop in that case. I'd only be kind of soiling my own trousers with that. But he does be referring to. He refers. This is a little bit of a red flag. Now, and I do love the man, and I do believe him to be.
And that's what people say. You should love your therapist.
I view him as my father. Yeah. And I think that's healthy. But he refers to himself in. So like part of the way through like the first session, he was like, and so we're going to be employing some of Drew's methods throughout the thing. I was like, oh, what? And then like a bit further on, he just goes, are you enjoying Drew's session? I was like, but you're Drew, aren't you? And he was like, yes. And I was like,
Your therapist talks about himself in the third person.
Yeah, he's absolutely quackers. It's the blind leading the blind, but we get on well.
Well, that's all therapy, isn't it?
Yeah,
You don't have the drive to become a therapist unless you're mad.
yeah, that's right.
I mean, no one
He was
who-
on smack. He was smacked out, train spotting. He probably, put a baby in the microwave. I don't know what he's done, but nothing good.
Oh my God. So you go in and you're struggling with confrontation. You want to be more confrontational?
Yeah,
Or you just don't want to be.
You'll see that throughout the podcast. You'll be getting a fucking fistful of fuck off at
You've done
various
a
stages.
competitive amount of meditation
Yes.
this morning.
Yeah, and my therapist has been actively telling me to tell people to fuck off. So you're in big trouble. You're in a very vulnerable position right now. I'm not even joking. You're in a lot of danger. You're talking to a man at his mental fucking peak.
His mental
Who's
peak.
been armed with really bad ideas.
Really bad advice
By his
from an
therapist.
unqualified smackhead.
By no, yeah, man, he had a wild past, but no, he is good, and
You keep saying it.
Yeah.
You're not trying to convince me. You're trying to convince you.
no, because we get on, like we do get on well, and like he just everything I say, he's just fucking absolutely Mike, and he throws in curses. I think it's because he's Irish. And
he's
you know
pandering.
What I mean? A little bit, and he's like, I'll rough up the language for this fucking muck savage, you know? And I love it. I'm like, yum, 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 yum. More.
Well, I think I'm going to quickly check the camera.
Yeah.
Because I forgot to frame it up. You know what that means. You went to film school.
Yeah.
We're framed.
Are we framed?
We're slightly unframed, to be honest. I want to get a little bit of lamp on both sides.
Yeah.
We've a little bit of lamp on.
Do I need to move anywhere?
No. We're all good.
Are we?
A little bit of lamp on both sides. That's what it's all about. That's what you need for a podcast. Just a little bit of lamp on both sides.
Yeah. Between two lamps. Like
between two lamps.
Yeah.
Between two ferns.
Absolutely.
I've only ever had women therapists.
Ah, lad. That explains a lot.
Does it?
Yeah. You've had no one really kind of come down like a ton of bricks. They've been enabling your nonsense. And this is what's happened. This is why you're going around like an emotional bull in a china shop, just fucking. And the women are just like, no, it's all right, Vittorio.
You're trying your best.
You're doing your best. So, are they English?
So when I was a child, I had Shirley.
Right.
She was from Derry.
She smoked during the sessions, surely.
No, all I remember about Shirley is she was a very thin, blonde lady, and she was a Liverpool fan.
Was she?
Yeah. And then, but I think when you're a child, you don't really know what's going on in therapy.
She didn't wear the jersey during therapy, did she?
Yeah, she did.
Just Fowler number 9.
She kept calling me Mo Salah. I was like, who's that? He's 12 right now.
Oh, that
he wasn't even in the academy system at Chelsea yet.
Lad, it would be mad if you went in and your therapist was just absolutely kitted out in a full kit, like boots and everything.
Because obviously progressively you should be like, don't judge people because of what they wear.
Right.
But there are some, if you walked into a therapist or your accountant.
Yeah.
Or
if I walked in, my accountant was wearing a Celtic jersey, even though I like Celtic, you're like, you can't let him.
Yeah, there's no way.
Around your money or your kids. You know what I mean? Like anyone that just Celtic. Openly and consistently wears Celtic jerseys in public, it's like...
That used to be me.
I can well believe it.
Yeah. Because when you first moved to London and I was 18 and I was desperate to hold on to my Irishness.
Yeah.
And
there's not a drop of it left in you now. And you're fucking in this apartment drinking the Queen's soup, lying on top of an English woman, rotting around on top of her every night. You make me sick.
Whereas
Rotten.
you've got one of the Cray twins giving you therapy.
I do, yeah.
That's just fine.
That's pretty good. Your girl never even done smack. What does she know?
Shirley might have done smack. You don't fucking know anything about Shirley.
Oh, yeah, actually, no. Shirley probably has done.
Shirley, she's from Derry, for fuck's sake.
Well, speaking of appearances and wearing stuff, my mother got me this. See this?
Yes, it looks
Top.
like your mother bought you that.
What? Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Honestly?
Yeah.
I thought it looked like kind of like a Japanese skateboarder. That was cool. No? I thought it was like kind of cool and Asian K-pop.
Cool and Asian.
Kind of K-pop, no?
I think it is like a skater. It's got skater vibes.
Yeah.
It looks like something, because I've been rewatching Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And it looks like something one of Jesse's friends would wear. Skinny Pete. You look like Skinny Pete.
That's not good.
No.
Skinny Pete was not a thriving individual.
He's not a thriving individual.
He would have been friends with Drew back in his fucking darkest days. Skinny Pete is one of the most downbeat characters that ever traipsed onto television, dude.
I don't know, Jesse, man.
Yeah. Poor old Skinny Pete, man.
He got out, did he not? Spoilers for Breaking Bad if you haven't watched.
No, I think Skinny Pete must have came to a sad end.
No, because I've been watching them just recently. He said, no, it's too much. And then they've started working with Gustavo Fring. So I don't think Skinny... It was Combo that got whacked by the kid. The kid cycled around him a couple times and then went pow, 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 pow.
Fuck, right.
And since then, I've been scared of kids on bikes.
Yeah, man, I've never liked them. Even when I was on a bike, I didn't feel I liked myself, you know? But then even off the bike, I didn't like myself.
I was going to say,
so
I'm the same.
just a continuation.
I only like myself when I'm on a bike.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a very strange phenomenon. I must be riding a bike at all times.
Yeah. I mean, there is something that there are some modes where you like you love yourself more. I've got a weighted blanket at the minute. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm scared of them.
Oh, lad. Unbelievable.
I just don't understand how they could solve anxiety when everything about them screams anxiety to me.
Oh, no, man. I tell you what, it feels like you're buried alive. It's unbelievable. Feels like you're in the ground. Like, but just a warm release of death. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like
warm release of death?
Like cozy death, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And it's on top, and you're like, oh. And now, like you, for example.
How weighted is a weighted blanket?
Oh, it's heavy, lad. It's heavy. You wouldn't be able to get out from under one because of how weak you are. But I can because of my strength.
Because of all the meditation?
Because of the mental strength, of course, because a lot of physical stuff is mental. But and then just my upper body strength.
Gives you the
fireman.
discipline to lift cows and stuff.
But say, for example, now I have the weighted blanket, and it feels like then I have someone, because I'm desperately alone, really.
We all are in a way.
No, but you've got that English woman to lie on top of you. Whereas I have she's just a glorified weighted blanket, really. She's a weighted blanket with a horrible colonial accent. Whereas I've got this beautiful, quiet, subservient blanket that I'm going to say is Asian. But I have no real... Yes.
Did your blanket by your Asian skate top?
Do you know what? The blanket, it does dovetail well in my room when I have this on. The blanket's there. And something feels like right about it. But my mother getting me this was a bit wild because
when did she give you that?
For Christmas, lad.
Okay.
And this is wild. Like, she's like, you know, like a real old agricultural Irish woman. Do you know, just someone with Silent Night on repeat, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There was a wild colonial woman.
Yeah. But
Mike's mammy was her name.
That's right, Betsy.
Betsy.
And she's an angel, but there's something gone a bit awry with her. Like, last year she got me this chain, right? Now
she'd been watching Normal People.
I think she wanted to suck the kyock off
Paul Mescal.
It's
future guest of the podcast, Paul Mescal.
We could get Mescal on and ask him what the fuck was he sulking about.
What the You've never meditated once in your life.
Mescal is sulking in everything. I just watched After Sun, the movie that Mescal.
Yeah, nothing happens, but it's good.
Huh?
Nothing happens, but it's good.
It's just Mescal sulking again. It should be called Mescal Sulks for another hour and a half.
But he's in Gladiator soon.
Is he?
Gladiator 2, Electric Boogaloo, with Paul Mescal.
Fuck off, like as in a sequel to
Ridley Scott?
Rusty Crowe's little fucking...
Yeah, Paul Mescal's in it.
Oh, and they'll have fucking Russell Crowe as his mentor.
Probably.
Oh no, he died, didn't he, in the first one?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Gladiator?
No.
Why? What? Honestly though, I'm saying, why? What have you been avoiding it? Have you decided you didn't want to ever be a man, or? Why didn't you watch Gladiator, Vittorio? Were you afraid of how it would make you feel?
No, I just never got around to it.
Really?
There's stuff that I've seen that you haven't seen.
Yeah, like an English woman's vagina. But listen, I refuse.
That's horrible. That's horrible. Look, that is not the type of podcast we're making.
It is the type of podcast we're making. You just didn't know it. I'm a lot smuttier than you.
Yeah,
you know this. I'm a dirty, rotten, filthy, dancing with the devil boy.
I'm a prude.
I know you're a prude, but you're going to have to accept that you're sitting beside kind of a bit of a deviant. Do you know what's funny, actually?
A bad boy.
On this point, when I was in Edinburgh, right, I was like flyer and this like old kind of Northern Ireland guy. Now he had real kind of like, you know, guy who's had a good job and worked hard his whole life, and he's
Protestant fella.
Probably a Protestant,
Presbyterian.
I think so, but then what he said would tell me different, because I like flyered him. And I was like, oh, come to this thing. And he was there with his little wife, and she had her little fanny pack, and he looks at it, and it was a flyer for The Best Man in Ireland, my show. And then he just goes, I saw a show the other day with a guy called Vittorio Angelone, and it was just wonderful.
Were you flyering someone and they told you about my show?
Absolutely.
That makes me so happy. Yeah. Because that would have made you so angry.
I was absolutely livid.
Apoplectic.
Yeah. He couldn't have known, but he had said the worst thing he could possibly say.
That man's dead now.
And I had a little lump of phlegm in my throat, and I was like, I wanted to put it in his face and be like, be on your way, you Angelone loving scum. You couldn't have said that worse to me. You might as well have said that you're a Satanist, that you bite the heads off of kittens, right? You fucking. But anyway, he's like, I went to show.
Your Northern Irish accent is so funny.
I went to the show.
I went to the show.
Vittorio Angelone, and it was fantastic. And he's just like, and he really has a go at the English. He really takes the English down a peg or two. Oh, it's fantastic. And he went to a play. Oh, he went to his play. In the show, he talks about going to a play, and he cried at the play. And he cried, poor Vittorio.
Oh, I forgot that's
show.
your impression of me.
Yeah.
I went to a play and I cried.
Everyone else was laughing, but I was crying. And that's his whole show. Don't go on the tour. You've seen it now.
It's nearly sold out,
You've
baby.
seen the fucking show. It is sold out, much to my chagrin. I've explained. You know what that word means now. I'm absolutely not happy that his show sounds so well, but it is impressive. Anyway. But so
you always, when you comment on when I am selling well, it's always in a way that if you read it a certain way, it's it's you're angry.
Yeah.
Because what you commented on the most recent tour sales update, you commented unbelievable, lad.
Yeah.
Which if you were like unbelievable.
Yeah.
But if you say it in a way where you actually can't believe why people are buying tickets.
Yeah, mine was just like, when I say unbelievable, I'm like, this is actually beyond belief. I don't know if life has gone into this weird kind of metaverse, kind of up is down world, but yeah, this is unbelievable. I can't believe it. I was literally at home just like putting a knife into my leg, just like, unbelievable, lad, well done.
My friend has a funny thing about when people compliment actors, it's always a word that you shouldn't compliment an actor with. Somebody said your performance was unbelievable.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
It's fun to do that to an actor.
Yeah.
Incredible as well.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a credible performance.
Yeah. I'm actually going to use that from now on.
That was incredible.
Yeah. And just have them thinking I'm giving them the highest praise. And in my heart, I'm going to be like, I didn't believe it, mate. You went too big.
But I like to think,
bring it down.
I like to think that you would try and keep that in your heart, but you would get too excited and go, that was incredible. I didn't believe a fucking moment.
I didn't believe a word of it. You're meant to be a butcher, son. There's nothing about you that says that you could cut chops. Nothing. Look at those hands, soft as butter. You disgust me. But this lad, comes to my show anyway.
Yes.
And he's sitting there and his wife with the fanny pack, and they just had a fucking head full of Angelone, you know. And I was up there doing my
the
show.
old 1-2 punch.
And I'm up there, you know, and sure, I'm an absolute fucking rotten Legit talking about eating my own cum and fucking, you know, just
poo. That's your show is just
a shite that made a woman kill herself.
Cum and poo and fucking whatever. That's you
think that you've insulted me there, but I actually think that was high praise because I am a bastion for truth. Lenny Bruce Pryor,
truth and cum and
Mike
poo.
Bryce, truth, cum and
Have
poo.
you seen Mooch's t-shirt?
No.
Mooch has a
I mean,
t-shirt.
I've seen him with the t-shirt on, but
yeah. So Mooch runs Vauxhall Comedy Club, and he has a t-shirt that says Hicks and Carlin, Pryor and Mrs. Brown's boys. I just think that's the funniest thing ever to put on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's gonna.
That's what it goes. Hicks and Carlin, Pryor and Rice.
Yeah,
and by Rice they mean Nigel Long doing Uncle Roger videos.
Nigel Long doing Uncle Roger videos. Yeah. Absolute fraudster.
Fuyo.
Yeah. I'm not going to do an Asian accent, but I'm appropriating enough with my top and my weighted blanket.
Uncle Mike.
And my Asian weighted blanket. But as I was doing the show anyway, so I'm up there talking absolute, just rotten. And then I can see.
It's a great show. I saw it. It's great. Was that the one I saw?
Yeah.
Just before Horatio, after Horatio, something like that.
Before Horatio, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was doing, and I could see the wife kind of pawn at your man.
Yeah.
She's like, this is not like Vittorio. Wait, did he not go to see any plays? He hasn't mentioned even, he didn't even go to see a show. And so she's pawning at him, and you could just see in his eyes, he was just like, just a longing for the days of Angelone, There was just a lust for the past.
Yes.
When he was in the warm embrace of your fucking sectarianism. That's what he wanted. I could fucking see it in the bastard.
I tell you what I had to. Well, this bodes well for anyone who's coming to our split work in progress on Thursday.
Oh, Thursday, yeah. Please.
We'll do it the other way around. We'll get them a head full of Mike first.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then I'll try and
This
recover some intellect to the room.
This is you just subtly telling me you're going to close the show.
You can close it if you want.
Absolutely not. They're there for you. These little fucking 14-year-old TikTok girls.
I had a notion to do like both of us on stage at the very end.
Oh, and do
Q&A or some shit.
Yeah, we can do that.
If it feels right.
Yeah.
It's a nice room for it.
Yeah, we can do it.
I think it could be fun.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to take you down a peg or two live. And I'm not even messing about that.
Well, we'll just build the podcast and then we'll do big arena shows.
Yeah.
Our arena shows will be so much less exciting.
Yeah.
We'll have no production value.
No, and people would be
I think we'll be sat cross-legged on an empty stage.
We've gotten ourselves in about 200 grand in debt to rent out the arena. And we're just having barbs at each other. I told you this wouldn't work. Just like
20 people in the front.
Just those two people that were like, I was at the play. It's like, Vittorio, do the play. Talk about the play. Maybe about the time you cried. Talk about that. Tell me this, lad. Christmas time. How'd you get on?
I was good. I was at herself's slightly somber mood. Their family dog had passed away like 2 weeks before Christmas.
You had nothing to do with it, did you?
No. I just said there's not room for me and the dog.
Yeah,
is what I said, and they wouldn't listen.
And do they? I'd say they do pet you and scratch your belly,
Yes, that's how they treat the Irish.
Yeah,
the English, they go, oh, isn't he nice?
Yeah.
You've got to scratch his belly, otherwise he gets a bit rebellious.
Yes.
He gets a bit excited.
But I love it. I love the content. I'm like, I do kind of like it. Like the other day, I was recently on a date and a girl was like, oh, I'd love to live in Ireland. I was like, were you ever in Ireland? She's like, no. So what would you be basing that on then?
Just an idea.
Yeah.
Of she's probably watched the fucking Wild Mountain Thyme, or she's watched
Love Hate.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Dublin gangster show.
Oh, well, maybe she's basing on that.
Barry Keoghan kills a cat.
You call him Barry Keoghan?
What would you be saying?
A lot of people call him Keoghan.
But a lot of people have wrong. Have wrong.
A lot of people have
wrong in them.
That's a quote from the Nuremberg trials.
Yeah.
A lot of people have wrong.
Yeah. And then a few of the Nazis were looking, so I think we have wrong.
We have wrong.
I think I probably have a lot of wrong.
Wrong?
Wrong.
We possess wrong.
I possess a lot of wrong.
I did a show the other day at Angel, and following on from what you were saying about these kind of Presbyterian people.
Yeah.
A fella came in crutches, and I kind of thought, oh God, and he was by himself. He came in to watch the show. I did the show, and then I was sat on the way out. He was kind of going past, and he goes, geez, I'm from Ballymena. It's nice thanks so much for the show. Really enjoyed it. I'm a Tory MP. That's why I sat at the back, because I knew you'd rip the piss out of me. And I was like, because I felt bad for him in the crutches, but I was so close to just fucking
kicking the legs
crutch out from under him.
Dirty bastard.
It's strange. I just didn't think I would be attracting a Tory MP from Ballymena to come to the show.
Well, I think what attracts people, right-wing people to you, is not so much what you're saying, but it's just the kind of raw ambition they can feel in you.
The individualism.
They can feel the individual. They can feel the capitalist swine just in your eyes. They're like, oh, he would pollute a lake if it was to make him money.
If every time I subtitled a video it polluted a lake slightly,
yeah,
nothing would change.
Nothing would change. Yeah, they can feel there is a bit of the Daniel Plain views. Like there will be
What's
blood.
That?
There will be blood.
Haven't seen that now either. That's Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard of him.
Well, he's a fella who basically, is just raw, sheer ambition.
What do you think about this method acting stuff?
I think with someone like Day-Lewis, obviously the result's unbelievable. But if I were to hear that Daniel Day-Lewis has just signed a contract to play Jimmy Savile, I'd be like, I think let's just give him the Oscar. And let's assume it was great.
It was going to be great.
Yeah.
Stop. It was great. We're not going to film.
Done. Put the sweets back in the...
Leave the hospital alone.
Absolutely. Go back to the...
Fire exit.
That's
Take
good.
the gown off.
Yeah.
No, don't take it off. No, put it back on.
Put the band back on. Dan. Yeah, so that's... Do you know what? I think actors in general... I always loved acting growing up and stuff, but the more I've gotten on in life, they're annoying me.
They're a tricky being. Some of them, they're sometimes when you hang out with actor friends, everything has to be a big acted out story. Like if they haven't had work in a little while, particularly, you start chatting to them, and then they'll go, and I was walking down the street the other day, and then they start like, act as if you don't know what fucking walking looks like.
Yeah.
And you're just
it's when they haven't had work in a while and they've just got Nancy. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. They're just like, I need to fucking get it out. You never know who's in the room. You never know who's in this cafe while I'm eating lunch, telling this stupid fucking story about walking down the street. Yeah. Someone's going to go, you're perfect for my movie, Man Walking Down the Street.
Yeah. No, there is an element to that. And there is an element of, they just, it's all
too much wonder.
Absolutely. And they do a thing now where when they hug you, they'll touch the back of your head. So they'll do that. I found this.
Yes.
And then they'll go like that, like this. And what it means is I feel more deeply than you and I hug more deeply than you.
Yes, because too much squeeze in a hug just means you've like got learning difficulties.
That's right. That
doesn't mean feeling too much.
Autism.
And then the slap is,
yeah.
It's like that's too much. That's distancing yourself from the feelings.
Yes.
Pap is like, we are men, and we don't hug like softly.
That's right.
Whereas a soft hug with and fingers in the hair.
Yeah, I've had it a couple of times now of late where I'm receiving one of these hugs and I can't tell you how uncomfortable. Like it just really, I'm like, what the hell? Because then do I do it to you? And then where are we? If we're both holding each other, then you have to kiss.
Then you're in a clinch and you start a Muay Thai fight.
Yeah, it starts just...
The knees and elbows start flying after a certain
It does just... It brings it into this just area of like... why stop that now?
They should have a hug referee. So if someone like clinches... Yeah. Hey, fellas, break it up.
100%.
Stand us back up again.
Yeah, or just you can do it, but you have to pay me after. Like you give me a tenner, and then and you can do that. But there's no way you can do that for free, just around the place.
It's still no, but it is a weird thing. I have actor friends who'll kiss me on the cheek with men.
It's just not. Yeah. But you know what it is?
But also the women, which is too, it stresses me out. When I was a single man and like my actress friends would like kiss you on the cheek, I'd spend the rest of the day going, what did this mean?
Right.
But it means nothing to them.
No.
Because they mean nothing to themselves.
They've
no self-respect.
They've no idea who they are. Do you know what I mean? They're like, look at the tree out there. That's what it's like. They are alive.
Stuart Lee called
and they are breathing in and out.
Yes, Stuart Lee called them wind-up toys.
Right.
You just send them out onto the stage to say the same thing again.
That's right, and then they come back and
they just wait for someone to tell them what to say.
Yeah, 100%. See, I had it because when I was back home this Christmas, my brother's an actor and his friend who's an actor was there. Now, the soundest guy ever, but there just is a bit of the top of the head thing. But were you home? Were you in Belfast?
I got back on the 27th and immediately went to an ice hockey game with 22 of my aunties, uncles and cousins. And that was what was interesting. The whole Christmas time I was in the middle of nowhere in the countryside, my girlfriend's parents' house, and I was just like, it was so peaceful. And I couldn't relax.
Why?
Too peaceful.
Right.
I'm a city boy.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with it.
You're urban.
I'm urban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm urban too since The Chain.
Since the Fleetwood Mac song?
Yeah.
Dum, 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 dum.
I wonder it was my mother, because I think she might have been listening to that
The Chain.
The Chain, because... So my mother, when she got me this chain, and I don't know, was it like she's become inspired by like Drake or something, or like, but she kind of wanted to bling me out, but she had picked out this chain.
It's quite thick.
It's lad.
Because I have a chain.
Yeah. No, see,
I've had that since I was born.
Now she would see you as kind of a weak half man for having that, because
is that not all bravado?
Well, I just think my mother wants people to know that I'm not whatever you are. Do you know what I mean with that? because that really just says I don't believe in myself.
Michael is a straight boy. I tell you now, he's fucking straight.
He loves it. Just loves it. And she wants people to know that. I know.
But where's the logical extension is, first she goes, I'm going to get them this Japanese long sleeve t-shirt fella, right? And everyone will know he's not gay because Japanese fellas are never gay.
Yeah.
And then I'll get him this big thick chain. And does that sound like your mum? I think it does.
Yeah, well, the gay Japanese lads, and this is true, kill themselves.
In that forest?
Yeah.
With Sean DePaul?
Yeah. I didn't need to bring it there. But
No,
I did. No.
But it was fun.
Also, your impression of my mother is spot on.
Really, what?
Absolutely not.
Jesus, Mike.
It's absolutely horrific. But
right, I'll try it again. No, I'm going to do an impression of Mike's mum. I bought him a chain the other day.
No, she doesn't smoke, lad.
She does, boy. It's when you're not there. I've been smoking since you were born and slightly before as well.
Lad, she doesn't smoke. She hates people who smoke.
I've been smoking since 9 months before you were born.
She's not a traveller, lad. You're acting like she has like 7 gates to sell right now. Yeah, that's right.
Well, if she's on a traveller, why'd you get you that chain that's definitely a traveller chain?
No, see, this is where you're not wrong. This is where you're right. But what she did was she went into this jeweller's in town, and it's just this owl lad who's a jeweller in there, and she had the chain picked out. It was how premeditated it all was.
Yes,
that was weird. So she brings me into the chain place, and and the owl lad is just like. Just an old frail kind of, it was his family business or something, and he doesn't.
One of these.
Not even one of those. He's just absolutely,
fell into it.
He's a coffin dodger. He's about fucking. He's on the verge of dying. He wished he had died a long time ago, and he's been trapped in this little jewelry shop in Kilkenny, and it is just a living nightmare. And he never married and this kind of stuff. He's just.
He's got to be a gay fella, no?
Huh?
Do you think he's gay?
Well, he threw me a...
Because a lot of those older, never married gentlemen are like just very, especially in Ireland, very just repressed gay fella.
There was lots of repressed gay fellas, but he would have become a priest if that was the case.
Yes, there's something about I guess that would be... But then jeweler's not far,
No. Jeweler is the other. It's priest or jeweler.
Yeah.
You're a gay man in 1950s Ireland. But, so my mother comes in and she's like, can you bring out the chain? She'd already like done the thing. So he comes back and like brings out the chain and she lifts and she goes, there's a lovely weight on that. It's like, what are you even talking about? Who are you? What have you been doing secretly for the last 30 years? I've never seen this. She's like, there's a beautiful weight on that. It's like,
there is weight on that, boy.
And then she lined me up across the mirror and I swear to God, I went to get changed. She's like, no. And she insisted on putting it on me herself like the Titanic. Like, when Cal puts it on Winslet? I was Winslet.
I've never seen the Titanic.
What in the world? If I bring up one more big movie that you haven't seen, I'm quitting this podcast because I'm not going to go through a fucking potentially years of this where you've seen nothing.
No cultural references.
You've not seen the Titanic. The boat that was built in Belfast.
I lived it.
You didn't live anything. You lived Pokemon. Look at the fucking head in you. The Ash Ketchup loving head in you. Ash Ketchup, yeah. Fucking, my favourite's You loved Charmander.
Yeah, of course I did.
I loved him as well. He was nice. He was good.
Is he like a mill tank? The big cow looking one?
Yeah.
You love cows.
Yeah. I do actually like cows. Actually, do you know what? And I'm going to get back to just the finishing of that chain story. But I was just listening to a podcast about, it's called Painfotainment. So the whole podcast is about like just
Painfotainment?
Painfotainment? Yeah. So what it is, it's just a podcast by this guy, Dan Carlin, who does these sick history podcasts called Hardcore History. Best podcasts ever.
Joe Rogan talks about them a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how you would know. Like that's how.
How did you find out about it?
Huh?
How did you find out about it?
I just talked to my historian friend, and when we were hanging out in the library because I want to nourish my mind. But just talking to my scholar friends. No,
it's just discussing at our book club, the history book club. I'm in various book clubs. I'm in the history book club,
the geography
book club. Shorter meeting.
Yeah.
The French book club.
French book club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So But anyway, painfotainment. So the podcast is about how like human beings, like just through the course of history, we love violence and we love. So like for example, like
So is it short for pain for entertainment?
that's right.
Right.
God, I swear to God, I don't know why people call you so dull, but because that is, many a man wouldn't pick up on that. So, many a duller mind would have whoop. But this lad, he just catches ideas. No,
Not much gets past me, sir.
No.
Not much gets past
You're like Goldberg.
me. Yeah.
You're like Goldberg for ideas. You know, from the Mighty Ducks. If you haven't seen the Mighty Ducks,
I've
I'm going to break
seen
the
the Mighty
camera.
Ducks. I've seen the Mighty Flying V. I've seen the Mighty Ducks. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Quack. Quack.
Just enough
Quack.
now. Enough.
Quack.
No. No more quacking. No more quack. You've reached this quack quota done.
I like that in Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, when the what's his name, Dave Bautista character. Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
And you know, he says, it went over your head. And he was like, nothing could go over my head. I would catch it.
He's
That's
very
me.
funny in that.
That's me.
Yeah.
Anyway, painfotainment.
Well, painfotainment. So anyway, yeah, the idea is that like we all fucking we love people getting injured and hurt, and through the dawn of time, back to Gladiator, which Mescal's going to come on Gladiator 2.
It all comes full. This is a very well structured podcast.
That's right. But you were saying like I loved cows there. There was a time when they would have women be raped by bulls in arenas. Yeah. I didn't want to bring it up. You brought up cow. And this is where it's led to. And that'll teach you. Or be careful what doors you open on this podcast. But that's right. They would and lads would be around and they'd be clapping on the bull. And lad, I grew up on a dairy farm. I've seen bulls. I swear to God.
Scary.
These are not gentle lovers.
Yeah, no.
A bull. Have you ever seen a bull have sex?
No.
Oh, lad. He gets up. Because so when we'd have like a herd of cows on the dairy farm, so we've 100 cows. And then it comes to like bulling season. So this is like the bull has to get everyone pregnant. So he is
Everyone.
Everyone. My mother. I have a little half brother.
And that's where I came from.
That's where I came from.
You're half bull.
But anyway, so he has about a month there where he just has to flat out shag everyone, and he's just a boss, and he's keeping himself in good shape, and he's meditating. A boss, like, but I said bouse because I'm from the
See,
street.
now what I thought was happening is
Yeah.
you were saying like bouse as some kind of dairy farm terminology, because when you said bouse, I was like, there's no way he's doing like a bouse. But
Yeah,
you were
I
doing
was
that.
doing like a boss.
And that's so disappointing.
Even for me, now that you repeat it back to me, it's not good.
Like a bouse.
Like a bouse. Well, I'll be honest with you. Me and my like friend group in Kilkenny, I would say if you were to like listen to us talk, there is a lot of, you know, rap inspired lingo.
Just right.
Except for one particular.
I was going to say, what a funny way to say you and your mates say the N word. You know, when me and my mates are hanging around, there's a lot of rap inspired lingo.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
we
true.
have these clan meetings. We use a lot of rap inspired lingo
Rap-inspired
at the clan
Mainly
meetings.
just one word.
Just one of them, but they use it a lot.
But
so.
it's the amount we use it that it really sets us apart. But anyway, a bull, lad, because he has so many people to shag, and he knows he's so much work to do. So he does, and he knows it. So he just gets up, right? I'm telling, and you see this rod coming out of him, like just like a fucking Arthur's sword, like
big thing
like that you put just whoop, and he just comes out, and then he just comes in, ooh, and he nuts immediately. He just goes in, ooh, and he goes, ooh, and he's just coming, and the cow is like, oh fuck, and she doesn't come, lad, not a chance.
Can cows orgasm?
I would have to hope so. They're certainly able to.
I mean, if anyone's going to know the answer, it's going to be you.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. I thought one time I made one come. I'm not joking. So I was just weird, and I don't want to. I know I'm making you uncomfortable with the smuttiness things, but there was one time. So we were milking cows, and there's this one cow that just wouldn't go in the milking parlour. And the thing is, right, and this history is not going to be kind to us, like farmers. You know, like we're the 12 years a slave in 100 years.
Is this like a cowspiracy type story? Should this have been in the documentary?
I think that there's a lot of people that'll think me a villain if they look back at the footage of what went
And
on.
there
the
is
farm.
footage.
Well, because you're a little tyrant, aren't you? You're like Michael Fassbender in 12 Years a Slave, where he's just, because if they don't
No,
do what?
I think I've seen that.
12 Years a Slave?
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, but see, thinking is no good to me. You know what I mean? Do you know what? When it came into your head that I think I saw that, you should have just said, I've seen it. Because when you said, I think you've seen it, now we don't know. And now it's even more ambiguous and annoying than if you said you hadn't seen it.
No, but I just think, because I thought if I'd been very confident going, no, I've seen that one, you would have asked me some kind of trivia about
No,
12
lad,
years
'cause
a
I'm
slave.
flat out trying to
You
tell
would have
my-
gone, how many years was he a slave? And I would have crumbled.
No, lad, I wouldn't, because I'm flat out trying to tell you how I made the cow come. I'm so...
You're
I'm
busy.
So,
You're
no, I'm
you're
genuinely...
like a bouse.
Like a bouse here, just trying to get it through to your thick skull that I am so prolific sexually that I made a cow come. You can't even... You've got an English lady there. She hasn't a clue. She wouldn't know what it felt like. I did it to a cow. A cow. Not even my species. But anyway, there was this one cow.
Yep.
And I don't know if and this is just genuine. I don't know if sexuality is similar with cows and people, as in like some people like it rough or whatever. But she just wouldn't go into the fucking pen. So then you have to be like, like just a villain, because you have to get them in to get the job done. So you just have to, get in, you dirty bitch. And I was hitting her, and she wasn't moving. And then I kind of started to realize that she was liking it.
She's liking the
And
slaps and the hits
she's
and
hitting
the
her and she's
strikes.
kind of like, and I was like, but then I was like going harder and she was like, and I was like, fucking, and then like my father, I was like, what the hell? He could see kind of.
Yes, because he knows he's
He's
spent enough time
He's
with cows.
60 years farmer and he's made more than one cow come. You know what I mean? It's just part of the business. Just as even accidentally you're gonna make.
Accidentally?
Well,
you rice boys are potent.
Huh?
These are potent.
We're just we're competent lovers. And it's bred into us from an early age. But anyway, this cow, and then, the cow, I'm almost certain, I don't know.
You'll never know.
I'll never know.
You never really know.
But deep down, I know I made that cow.
The cow comes in the shed and nobody's there to verify it.
It's a pity. It's a pity if there is a lot of cows coming and nobody gets to witness it. But my point being, after that, then the cow would always try to not go in and get me to and try to do it again. And I was like,
so it like learned Pavlovian pleasurable behavior.
Because she was liked it rough and masochistic, so she's like, "Oh, hit me to get me in." And I was like, "We're not doing this every time.
We're not playing this game.
I don't want to play this game with you." Well,
Daisy?
basically, yeah.
Daisy? Did you have names for the cows?
Actually, and this is going to sound bad, I called that one Betsy, which is my mother's name, and I don't want to. And I know that's not going to read well for the listeners.
So they looked so alike, you couldn't not.
That's right. I just realised now, for this whole thing, you've been facing, so they're seeing your whole face, and they're only seeing half of my head.
Yeah, I'm a professional.
Huh? Fuck!
I know where the camera is, you see.
Yeah. Whereas I'm a human being, so I look at the person. But anyway,
it's called autism.
can we tell them that you are awaiting your results?
Yes, I'm awaiting my results. I applied to be autistic.
Can I give them to you early? You've got it. Actually, we have a special guest today, Dr. O'Brien.
So
and it's just based on no proof. Just
your therapist comes in,
and
gives me heroin for my autism.
I was talking to Drew. He reckons you have it.
He reckons you've got it, sir.
But being home, I had lad.
Can I tell you about this ice hockey game?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Have you been to an ice hockey game?
No.
High production value, these things.
Yeah.
And I think it's because the sport is almost impossible to follow. So the flair around it has to make up for that. I hadn't a clue what was going on. Now, was it a packed arena of people watching ice hockey? Yes. Did that surprise me? Also, yes.
Right.
Like 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Watching the ice hockey.
In Belfast?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's insane. And there was, because I look, 27th of December, it's fun little, because it's a bit Christmassy. It's ice.
I know about ice.
It feels wintry.
I know about ice.
What's right? You meditate for a third time, for fuck's sakes. I don't know what's going on.
You thought you were going to get that past
Did
me?
meditations cancel each other out? I think you've cancelled the first one out.
No, lad, be honest. I feel a bit ropey because I didn't sleep. I told you that earlier.
Yeah.
So that's actually, I would be literally.
And you've been playing mind games with me all day. You said, I won't be there till 11:30. Then you arrive at 11 and I go, ooh, he's keeping me on edge today.
But see, that's why I don't want you to get a safe fun.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Never.
No.
Never.
But I didn't sleep. So that's the only reason I'm not literally like Magneto. I'm bending things with my mind right now is because I didn't.
It's because you didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Normally on a double meditation day, you're bending lads all over the place.
Well, hey. Now you're bringing the smut in. I think I've I've brought you down. This is because you know that guy that was at your show has been watching this podcast and he's just said, Vittorio refuses to engage in the smut. And then you just said that and he just a little tear.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now
A little
I'm
Presbyterian.
A little Presbyterian, yeah.
Just goes down. It's great podcasting. This little Presbyterian goes down.
This is going to go down as the worst podcast segment of 2023.
Goes all the way down his neck and rolls over his nipple.
Over his nipple.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if I've ever had a tear make it all the way down to a nipple. Think you win something if that happens.
I think you win something from that sentence, and that is you're autistic. Here's the prize. You're autistic. The most autistic thing that was ever said. I think if the tear does reach your nipple, you win something. I was at a play once and I cried, but the tears didn't reach my nipples, so I didn't win anything. I left the play empty-handed. It's very sad. Lad, this was a fucking
ice hockey. I was talking about ice hockey.
Back to the ice hockey, and then wait till you hear what I have to say.
Okay. Okay. So we'll go, and what surprised me, because look, I thought Christmassy, like all the people in Belfast, like it's a nice little day out for the family. Whatever. I was there with all cousins and all sorts of stuff. But there was away fans that had travelled from Glasgow. Honestly, 300 of them.
What date was this?
27th of December.
Jesus.
They travelled just after Christmas.
These lads
left their families.
Yeah.
And just...
That's a bad home life.
And they're beating drums and singing songs. They're like ultras. They're like proper...
Right.
Fans.
Yeah.
Of ice hockey.
Yeah, they're going...
In the UK.
Did they have Santa hats? Was there any Christmas element to it? Or?
No, they were in like ice hockey tops.
Oh, yeah?
And they're all fat.
No Santa
Ice
stuff.
hockey fans are fat.
I could eat.
And I said to my cousin, I think ice hockey fans might look the least like the athletes. I was trying to think of what fans of a sport look the least like the athletes in that sport.
Well, most like is darts.
Yes. Most like is absolutely darts. Darts fans and darts interchangeable.
Yeah.
You wouldn't...
Least like...
Darts is the only...
NBA is least like.
No, I have a counter argument. Darts, you wouldn't notice a pitch invasion in darts.
No.
Because you go, it's another...
You'd be like, there he is again. Wait, how many Phil Taylors are there? Whoa.
You said the NBA? I would say some fairly tall, skinny guys like basketball.
No doubt. But if you look at like the whole fan base, like if you look at Golden State Warriors who won the championship last year, it's just all little Asian people that work in Silicon Valley.
Yes, that's true.
Like,
that's the location
Golden
based.
Golden State.
But then Jeremy Lin, he's a little Asian fella, went to Harvard.
Well, he's not that little. He's 6'3".
Jeremy Lin, 6'3"?
Yeah. I was a big NBA nerd, so I have stats, and you're really not going to get to that.
I was quite into the NBA.
Obviously not that into it. You thought Jeremy Lin was... Well, he is
maybe
small
thought
for
he was
NBA.
6'1". I maybe thought he was like 6'1". I just didn't have a notion in my head.
6'3" is an NBA like 5'8", like is like 5'8" in real life. In NBA.
Yes, yeah.
Kind of short.
Yeah, it is frightening. But my cousin blew all my arguments for what sports the fans look the least like the athletes with 2 words. He just turned to me and went, beach volleyball.
Yeah, right. Because it's the same
beautiful
fat Glasgow
women,
people that are at the hockey, are at the side of the, oiled up at the side of the beach volleyball with nothing but a Santa hat on now.
They're just fine specimens, mate.
Everyone's an Irish traveller to you.
I tried to get out of that when I already felt myself going into it. It's just the automatic. I go, well, boy, what's the fucking great? But I just need to stop.
Scottish there.
But there was no R's in fine specimens, so I found it really hard to get into the Glasgow accent.
Yeah.
So I went, fine specimens. There we go. That's all right. That wasn't too bad.
Sometimes if you've done an accent already and then you want to go into another one, but it's all the other things in your mouth.
Yeah, your mouth in the wrong shape.
Yeah. Anyway, to my story now.
Wait, I wasn't done.
You're not done with the ice hockey story. What the hell else is there?
Mate, there was a Subway gun.
Huh?
They had a gun. So every moment is sponsored by like a local business.
Right.
It's like the goal brought to you by McDowell's Kia dealership on the Ormo Road or whatever. And then they come out and go, and welcome to the halftime break sponsored by Subway on the Lisburn Road. And then there's 3 people go out with these big compressed air guns and they slot a 6-inch sub and go, and it shoots into the crowd. And people catch them and they've got a Subway.
Jeez, I say that's like catnip to the Glaswegians.
And they were throwing out boxes of pizza and all mad. The production value is amazing.
Wow.
And they had like a dance cam and all, and we were all dancing. And my wee cousin was dancing, and he took a knock to the elbow while he was dancing, and he threw nachos and cheese and salsa and guacamole all over my auntie. Oh. And my auntie's like quite like a put together woman, and he just like all down her coat and all everything.
How'd she handle it?
She laughed and laughed and laughed, but we made him feel terrible. Do you know, like, if you do something like that to like an older member of your family, you're just like, oh no, you freak out no matter how much they laugh and go, it's okay, it's okay. So we were all going, Louis, you threw nachos everywhere, you ruined their coat. You
rotten little bastard. Like really, but like make it like be something that's traumatic. That like yeah. You ruined the day for everyone.
How dare you?
For everyone.
And I tell you what happened. So I was posting on my old Instagram story while I was at the ice hockey, because in Belfast, everything's Protestant or Catholic.
Right.
Everything. Particularly sports. And I was kind of saying, because I was trying to work out what they were, because they're Glasgow, also very sectarian. But I was trying to work out what they were, because there might be 2 ice hockey teams in Glasgow, I don't know. But all their songs were adaptations of Celtic chants. So I thought, maybe they're fucking Catholics. I don't really know yet. But then in Belfast, I was just trying to work it all out. And I posted my Instagram story. And then on the way out, my whole family were making fun of me, because a guy came up to me and was like, oh, I really like your comedy. It's nice to see someone from here not do such...
The story got so much worse!
Nice to see someone from here not do such parochial stuff. Like, it's like all about Northern Ireland sectarianism and stuff. And I was like, that's really kind. And in my head, it was like, if only you'd seen what I was posting on my Instagram story not 5 minutes ago going, do you reckon ice hockey's Catholic or Protestant? And he goes, it's just nice to have a wider worldview, isn't it? I was like, It was terrible.
Has he been to the show?
I don't think he knows about the cray or the pliant.
The cray, the play. I just like people who talk about tears. Tears in plays. Tears in theatre. Tears in theatre. That's what Vittorio
Tears in theatre.
Tears in theatre. But did that feel good? Did your family see that guy talking to you?
Oh yeah, they were all yeah.
And did that like get you? Were you just like fucking?
They were all just like taking the piss out of me, going,
yeah, but in reality, you're like fucking.
It was nice. It's nice when people say nice stuff, isn't it? I do freak out though.
Lad.
I have a learned set of responses to say to people when they like recognize me.
Just fart.
No, I go, thanks so much, I really appreciate it, and then I'm out of stuff to say.
Right.
A backup is that's really kind.
Oh, that stinks. Don't say that.
Well, it is.
Huh?
It's kind.
Yeah, I know it's kind, but it's like, that's a bit too standoffish.
What am I supposed to hug them and put my hand on the back of their head?
Well, it wouldn't fucking hurt, lad.
I'm to hug it.
I touch them. If they talk to me, I touch them. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do a little bit of that. Do you know who I like to do that to?
Sorry, do you know how to get to 10?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
you just stop them, you go, no matter what they talk to you for?
It doesn't matter. It'll be nothing to do with and I'll be like, you're a fan. And I touch him.
I'd be so funny if somebody came up to me and tried to like be like, oh, are you Mike Rice? And you just went shh, 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 and put your finger on their lips.
Yeah.
And went shh, 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 shh,
and then
I know.
Yeah.
And I know.
Yeah.
Shh, shh, shh.
And they're like, no, I found.
It's okay.
I found you.
And sleep.
No, but have you ever been hypnotized?
Terrifies me.
Yeah.
When I had the bad anxiety when I was a kid, I had these like hypnosis things to try and like fix it because my mum tried everything.
Right.
I've done crystals,
Yeah.
hypnosis, and I got really anxious about the hypnotherapy stuff. I've just felt like out of control. No, like magic crystals.
Ah, right.
The energies of them on your chakras.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Hypnotherapy.
Yeah. I was hypnotized once.
Freaks me out.
Because I get too anxious when I was young, when I was having sex. So I went to a hypnotherapist to fix
Cure
me.
you?
Yeah. But then it was like in Kilkenny, and she was, I don't think anyone had ever come in. She was so excited when I came in.
That's so funny.
And she was just like, oh, hello. She couldn't believe it. And she had to put away her hello magazine. It's just, she's just been sitting there eating fucking custard creams all day, right? And she had to wipe away the crumbs
off her cagoule.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's what hypnotists wear in my head, cagoules.
Nah, and I think she might
I don't know what the word I was looking for there was, because I was trying to think of like a shawl, but all that popped into my head was hijab.
Yeah.
And my brain kept going, say hijab, say hijab, say hijab. But I don't think your hypnotherapist in Kilkenny was wearing a hijab.
No. I think if she could have got away with it, she would. Yeah, 100%. There was that vibe.
Do you ever get that vibe off like white women who are super spiritual, that if they could wear a hijab, they would, but they just know they shouldn't?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, when I first met your girlfriend, that's how I felt. But I was like, if she could wear like a sari, like one of those little Indian. Anyway, and I could feel like she just she just wants to put a red dot there. But you can just feel that one, yeah. But you're one anyway. So I goes into hypnotherapy, and she was like, right. So she sat me down, and she's like talking to me, and then she's like comes over to me, and she's like. And now this was a thing where it was about I get too anxious and I wouldn't be able to get up. That was the problem. So then she was like, okay, down, and then she goes, you're under, like that. And then I was standing there, I was like, I'm not under, I'm not under at all. But I don't. But
you just closed your eyes?
I just closed my eyes, and then she was like, you're under, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, no, I'm not. But I was like, I don't want to say it, so it'll just be weird.
You just played along?
Yes, and then. So then she just started doing. So she hadn't a clue what to do. She wasn't too. So she's like, penis down, penis up, penis down, penis up. So she's saying. So she didn't know how to cure. She just didn't know.
Just wanted the $5 or whatever. How much did you pay her?
I paid her 12 quid. No, I didn't. It was that's
both not enough and too much.
Yeah, I know. No, 90. I think I paid 90.
90?
90 for penis down, penis. Yeah. 90 quid. And then she was doing that, and then she just goes, and you're out. And so I had to be like, whoa, and I'd be like, whoa, and I'd be like, whoa, it's her, it's worked, so I just had to do that, and I just left and was like,
you're so polite.
Huh?
You're so polite.
I know, but what are you going to do, when she's the penis out and just wait? I'll be, what the hell is this?
And then, because always the backlash from hypnotists is like, now, you see, you have to let yourself be hypnotized. If you fight against it, it will never happen. You have to let it happen. So they can always blame you.
I paid 90 quid. I would have let her do whatever she wanted.
But that's what I mean. If you ever try and refute a hypnotist, being like, it didn't work, they'd be like, you weren't open enough.
They're just passing the book.
You weren't open-minded enough to let yourself be hypnotized. There was a hypnotist at the Freshers Week at my uni.
Yeah.
And there's actors that...
Very quick, could you hypnotize autism out of you or no?
I don't know.
Or was it hypnotized into you?
Oh, maybe I got crystal therapied into autism.
Yeah.
The wrong crystal.
Well, you see those...
Everybody's going on about the vaccines, but it's hypnosis. Darren Brown's giving everyone autism. And we wouldn't even know.
No, we wouldn't know. I often thought with Darren Brown, David Blaine, these guys, why not use our wizards to go kill Putin? But you know what I mean? When people are talking about sending arms to Ukraine, send David Blaine.
He can make anything disappear.
I'm pretty sure.
Russian tank, it's gone.
Yeah, but I know we're joking here, but Blaine or Darren Brown, send them to Russia. They'd have Putin in the ground. They're wizards. I'm not even... Have you seen what they can do? It'd be a piece of piss.
It's like when Gandalf arrives at the end of the Two Towers.
Yeah.
Coming over the hill.
That's right.
At the first light on the fourth day,
Yeah.
look to the east.
And you see fucking Blainer coming over the fucking hill, spiky head and them fucking weird eyes, just like.
And Dynamo Magician Impossible.
I don't know that.
Oh, jeez, you have no cultural references, Mike. We're coming to the end of the public episode.
Jesus. And I had a cracking story for it. I had a few.
Well, we'll do it on the Patreon.
All right.
That's what
We'll
happens.
do the cracking story on the Patreon.
Yeah. So if you want to get the cracking story, sign up to patreon.com / whatever link is. I haven't set it up yet. I had to search to see what would be available.
You did?
Yeah, but the link will be in the description of whatever this is for the Patreon.
Right.
And sign up to there for very little money to get bonus stuff. That's how this works. Subscribe, all that stuff. See you on the Patreon. We'll take a little break. I need a banana.
Yeah.
We'll have a banana break.
Yeah.
Have a banana break.
All right. Go good.